Fresh air feels good, doesn't it?
Well, I'm sorry, did you say something?
Is everything all right, Jordan? You haven't said anything since we left the parking lot.
Aside from the fact my own father won't speak to me?
All right, Jordan, come on.
I know you asked.
How many times do we have to talk about this? Relationships change.
Max and I used to share everything, and now we can't say 2 words without feeling awkward. I'm worried about him.
He'll be fine.
No, he's not fine. He never leaves the bar.
He's a bartender, Jordan. That's what bartenders do.
Look, you guys get along. I need you to talk to him.
He pulled a gun on me.
That's bonding for him. He feels comfortable with you.
He said he was gonna shoot me.
You see, you guys are closer than I thought.
Forget it.
Hey, guys. Fresh air feels good, huh?
All right, kids. Big storm last night. 30-mile-an-hour winds, 8-foot swells. It's amazing what washes up on shore in a big storm.
Mother Nature's way of cleaning house.
What'd you find?
Take a look.
Estimated time in the water is 6 to 7 weeks.
What happened to her hands?
Prince will be tough to recover. Fingertips are gone from exposure.
Yeah, and hungry sea creatures. Same goes for her face.
What face?
Well, decomp's accelerated now that she's surfaced. Pressure and warm temperatures don't help.
You guys will still be able to run dental records, though, right?
Yeah, as soon as we get back to the morgue.
Coast Guard didn't report anyone missing or lost at sea.
I don't think she was meant to be found. Looks like cause of death is this wound to the back of her head. It said Jane Doe was dead before she even hit the water. Horizontal lividity marks across her torso suggest that she was bound somehow.
Yeah, normally we'd pull fragments from the wound to determine the weapon.
Yeah, but after this many weeks in the ocean, normal doesn't really apply.
No face, no prints. At this rate, she'll be Jane Doe for good.
There's a high level of pharmaceutical progesterone in her system.
Birth control?
No, triple the normal dose.
Any luck with the dental records?
Let's see. Missing person says something.
Aside from a couple cavities, our girl matches a New York runaway who vanished 7 years ago.
Hello, Sarah Corday.
Daughter of a city councilman. She was 15 then. That would make her 22.
She ran all those years just to end up here. I'll call her parents.
Ever been inside one of these luxury hospitals, Bug?
I thought it was a hotel.
Well, it is, except for this floor. The rich like to recover in style. Doctors keep their wealthiest patients here. They get room service, private nurses.
Everything down to the mint on that pillow.
Yep. Name's David Seaton, age 42. Says he's in for an eye lift.
Tongue swollen. Allergic reaction probably sent him into an anaphylactic shock.
Surgeon's name is Berger.
Pharmaceutical error?
We'll find out soon enough. Let's take a look at Berger's masterpiece. That's odd.
Nice work.
Too bad somebody took the bandages off and replaced him after he was dead.
Well, how can you tell?
They made a mistake. See, dried blood on the gauze is facing out. Normally, these bandages wouldn't have been changed yet.
There's morphine and a high dose of penicillin in his system.
All that for an eye job.
It's a safe bet the antibiotic triggered the reaction.
You think somebody gave it to him on purpose?
Well, the allergy's all over his charts. They should have seen it.
This is Capra? Uh-huh. Tell them to bring him here to the morgue. Did anyone know this guy was a plastic surgeon and that he was Scott Berger's partner?
Where's Dr. Berger?
On his way here from the Berkshires. State troopers found him there on vacation. I guess he needed to get away.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine what it must be like to get a call like this after so long.
We always held onto the hope that Sarah would be all right. That maybe she was safe somewhere. Do you have other kids?
No. Sarah's adopted. She was a happy kid, and she ran away.
We heard from her once. About a month afterwards. That postmark was Cape Cod.
Do you mind if I hold on to this?
No, it's okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have very much to tell you. I'm sure you both must have so many questions.
Can we see her?
I'm sorry. I can show you a photo of what we think she looked like. Mr. and Mrs. Corday, this is Detective Woody Hoyt from the Boston PD.
Hi, folks. I'm so sorry for your loss. Jordan, can I speak with you privately for a moment, please?
We've waited 7 years for answers. If you know anything at all, we'd appreciate it.
All right. Sarah Corday, a.k.a. Sarah Meeks, was married. She worked as a short order cook at a diner in the North End. Her last place of residence was an old hotel downtown. Her husband, Dan Meeks, does have a record of domestic violence and is currently on parole.
Dr. Seaton was fine when I left last night.
Then who administered the penicillin?
I don't know. My staff was well aware of his allergy. Somebody must have gotten past security.
Do you have many disgruntled patients, Doctor?
Occasionally people expect miracles we can't deliver, but our track record is impeccable.
That's why you operated on each other.
We trusted each other implicitly. Look, this was a simple eye procedure. I wouldn't have let him go anywhere else.
You have 3 patients in recovery, one of whom is your partner, Westcliff Town.
I wanted to take my son to the mountains for a few days. Things were stable here, and I'm always reachable by phone.
Are you sure you weren't just trying to orchestrate some lame alibi?
Are you insinuating I'm responsible for this?
Me? No. But if I killed someone, I'd probably run for the hills, too.
Hi, Detective Woody Hoyt, Boston PD. You mind if I ask you a couple questions? Is your name Dan Meeks? Hey! Hey! Drop the pipe, Dan. Drop the pipe or call a plumber. All right, don't shoot. Why are you running, Dan?
I violated parole. That's why you're here, right?
I'm here to ask you about your wife.
What about her? Find the bitch?
You don't have much respect for the dead, do you?
What?
We found her body washed up on the beach.
Hey, I didn't do it. I wanted to, but I didn't. Look, 3 months ago, Sarah packed her things and split.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. She just took the kid and left.
Kid? What kid?
Loosen these freaking things.
Why? So you can take another swing at my head?
I told you, I panicked.
I'll tell your parole officer he owes me one. How'd you meet Sarah?
She was 18. We started hanging out. Next thing I know, we're married. She's moving in.
Oh, that Fleabag Palace? Can you blame a girl?
She shows up with a 3-year-old. I didn't ask for that.
Where'd she go for a few months?
How should I know?
Don't lie to me, Dan. Don't. I'll tell him not to feed the animals.
Bitch didn't appreciate anything I did.
Local PD says you like to slap around a little bit. Is that true?
Married people have disagreements.
So you killed her?
No. I looked for her for a while. Then I gave up.
And the little girl? Hey, Dan. I find out you laid a hand on her. And you're gonna have to answer to me.
And I didn't do anything to Christine. I swear.
I'll find her.
I gotta tell you, Jordan, I got a bad feeling about this one. You see this guy's rap sheet?
Now, which page?
This may not have a happy ending.
Look, Sarah ran away when she was 15. Her daughter's 7. I mean, she was pregnant when she disappeared. Her little girl never had a chance.
We just put out an Amber Alert, and maybe these will help. Some of Sarah's things, I got them from their apartment.
Okay, you find out who killed Sarah. I'll focus on her daughter.
Well, look what we have here.
What you got?
Well, it appears Dan Meeks might be innocent after all. I ran a diatom analysis on organisms I found in Sarah's body.
Ocean organisms?
Yeah, those cute little living things that can help us determine where Sarah was dumped and the path she took.
Sea monkey, right?
Benthic diatoms from deep-sea sediments, found in waters of at least 200 meters.
Okay, Gustav, so what does all this mean?
That her body first entered the water here, about 22 miles due east of Boston Harbor.
No way, that would require a serious boat.
And based upon the speed and direction of the currents, time of death coincides with the job Meeks had driving a semi cross-country.
So if Sarah's husband didn't do it, then who did?
Had I known anything like this would happen, my husband was a very caring man and a wonderful doctor.
Mrs. Seaton, is there anything you can tell us about your husband's relationship with Scott Berger?
They were partners for almost 10 years.
Were they close?
Dr. Berger was like a brother to my husband. Before his divorce, we vacationed together, and then as time went on, things became complicated between them.
In what way?
Dr. Berger has serious financial problems. The last few years, my husband wanted out of the partnership, but Berger wouldn't consider it. He knew that he would go bankrupt.
So if your husband was that important to the practice, Berger wouldn't have any motive, would he?
They both have clauses in their wills that leaves full ownership to the surviving partner.
If you don't mind my asking, what was Dr. Seaton's share this year?
Almost $2 million.
Sarah disappeared at 15, met her husband at 18. Where was she for those first few years?
I'm doing a birth certificate search on Sarah's daughter. Maybe that'll tell us something about where they've been.
We're trying to follow a trail of breadcrumbs. Look at this.
Do her parents know they have a granddaughter yet?
I was waiting till we had more to go on. Hard enough losing Sarah.
Check this out.
Receipt for a post office box in her name. You know, call Woody. Tell him we need to get inside. Maybe she was getting mail from somebody her husband didn't know about.
Listen, Jordan. It's not often that I get the chance to be the bearer of good news. Sarah's parents have been through hell. I want to be there when they meet their granddaughter for the first time. We're going to find this little girl. We have to.
What the hell is this?
It's a crime scene, Doctor. You doing your rounds?
Well, I hope you won't be too long. People pay a lot of money to stay here. It's bad for business.
That patients can't help either. Relax. Want something from the minibar?
So you were here at 7 p.m. last night, is that correct?
The wing was fully occupied. Other doctors and nurses were present, as I have said 1,000 times. Dr. Seaton was stable and resting.
And at about 7:20, you ordered a non-penicillin-based antibiotic.
Which I personally administered.
And how many patients do you see here every week?
I don't know. 5 to 10, maybe.
So it's no surprise that your fingerprints are all over the place.
Well, we have been using this hotel for 3 years now.
And now you own the practice outright.
After you give somebody a shot, you put the used syringe in one of these plastic containers, right?
Every room has a receptacle for used hypodermics.
And you just drop them in there out of habit.
What is your point, Detective?
Isn't it possible there's a syringe in that container lined with penicillin and Dr. Seaton's DNA?
Wouldn't it be great if we could lift a thumbprint from the plunger of that syringe?
We are finished talking. I'm calling my attorney.
Well?
Connecting Berger's impossible.
Internal results?
Nothing out of the ordinary. Anaphylactic shock like we anticipated. Oh, and Detective Capra's idea didn't bear fruit. There was penicillin in the syringe with Seaton's DNA, but no prints.
He was covering his tracks.
I did find one thing stuck to his sutures, but it's a long shot.
What is it?
An eyelash.
From his own eye, Doc?
Not necessarily. Remember, the killer removed the bandages, so sometimes things are inadvertently left behind.
All right, run a test on the eyelash. We'll need DNA samples from everyone who had access to the room that night, including his wife.
Night, Lily.
Peter, wait.
I can't. Macy just threw me a stabbing down at the harbor. Any luck checking that little girl?
Nothing from the Amber Alert. We're still trying to connect the dots. But listen to this. 4 months ago, Sarah Corday rented a P.O. box. According to Woody, her husband didn't know anything about it.
A lot of people rent P.O. boxes. What's the hitch?
Well, a guy named Stephen Rhodes was getting his mail there, too.
Maybe he was a friend.
Maybe he was more than that. Sarah was in a bad marriage. Her husband was abusive. Bank records show that she closed a savings account right before she took the girl and ran.
All right. What if this guy, Stephen, hung around for the ride, and then when he got tired of it, he just took whatever money Sarah had and he split?
That $600 was all that she had left. She would have put up a fight.
Well, that's a fight she probably would have lost. You know what I think? We find Rhodes, we're going to find the girl.
That's the problem. I just ran Stephen Rhodes through the RMV database. According to their records, he doesn't exist.
So we're looking for a missing girl and a guy who doesn't exist. It's challenging.
Tell me about it.
What do you got?
Ready for this? Julie Seaton's DNA is a perfect match against the eyelash we found on her husband.
I'll call Capra, tell her to bring in the grieving widow for questioning right away.
How many years have I been doing this now?
Not as many as yours truly. Why?
You think after a few hundred murders I'd stop being such a sucker for a pretty face?
A pretty face isn't completely her own. Nothing else. Our little chat with her in the conference room gave me a good look at the work she's had done. Courtesy of the husband, I imagine.
Do you think a procedure or two?
Or 3 or 4. Marry the doctor. Better take advantage of the perks, right?
Big crocodile tears. I can't believe I was such a sap.
Yeah, new eyes. Fake tears. Who knows what's real anymore? Yeah, Detective Capper, please.
Get them closed.
It's unethical to close an Irish bar.
Luckily, there are 2 more down the street. Night.
Come on, Max, just one drink, please, and I need your help. Open up.
You must be desperate.
Thank you. Just out of my territory. Is everything all right, Max? Your daughter seems a little worried about you.
Tell my daughter if she's worried, she can come see me herself.
You worked Harbor Patrol. You know anything about reading these things?
6 years walked in the docks. I know enough. Boston Harbor.
What about this area circled right here, 20 miles off the coast?
Commercial fishing zone, the big stuff. Those boys are hardcore.
You keep records of the boats in that area?
Yeah. The harbor master. Why the sudden curiosity?
We found the body of a woman who we think originated in that area.
You know anything about the fishing business? Well, it's a real boys' club. Boats go out every 6 to 8 weeks, travel all the way to Nova Scotia and back. You say a woman was on board?
Looks that way.
Well, you find a female captain or two, but no crewman, not in those waters. Too dangerous.
Excuse me. This is Hoyt.
Hey, Woody. I think we got a break in the Sarah Meeks case.
Yeah? What do you got?
I just found something you'll want to see.
What do we got, Winslow?
Richard Flynn, 28 years of age, died of multiple stab wounds to the abdomen.
Think he was robbed?
Everything's still here. Cell phone says he tried to dial 911. Get this. Flynn's a commercial fisherman. He's got over $2,000 in his billfold.
What's the connection to Sarah Meeks?
You tell me. He's carrying her driver's license.
I just spoke to the harbor master. According to their log, Flynn just got back from an 8-week trip on a boat called the Blue Horizon. Guess who else was on board? Your man, Stephen Rhodes.
Oh, they worked together.
They were in the area Sarah's body was dumped, and Flynn had her ID.
That can't be a coincidence.
But if Rhodes was on the boat the whole time, he couldn't have been holding Sarah's daughter, Christine.
Looks like we're back to square one with your girl.
Someone needs to go back to the Blue Horizon and talk to the crew. I'll keep searching.
Liam Moore.
What can I do for you?
Detective Woody Hoyt of the Boston Police Department. This is Dr. Winslow of the Medical Examiner's Office. You are the captain of the Blue Horizon, correct?
This is about Dick Flynn. I've told the police everything I could.
Did you happen to meet a Sarah Meeks?
No, sir.
We think she was on your boat. Flynn had her ID in his wallet when he died.
We also think she was involved with one of your crew members, Stephen Rhodes.
I guess I should have said something.
Do you think Rhodes had anything to do with her death?
I don't know. Second day out to sea, Flynn comes to us scared to death. Claims Rhodes smuggled a dead body on board and was stored in a freezer below deck.
Did you check it out?
No need to. No one believed him. Next day, Flynn tells us Rhodes dumped the body over the rail.
Where's Rhodes now?
Gone. Took his 2 months' pay and left. I think he realized Flynn was on to him, and he killed him, too.
Can you describe Rhodes for us?
Tall, 30, long blonde hair.
You mind if we take a look aboard?
You won't find much. Freezer compartment and the decks were just scrubbed down. Standard after a long trip out.
I didn't know they kept these boats so clean.
8 weeks, 24 hours a day, 5 men and 4 tons of fish. You want to tidy up a bit, too.
You know, I'd love to get a sample of Rhodes's bed.
Linens were stripped. There's none left but a mattress.
Oh, you'd be amazed what a little sweat can tell us.
Like I said, it's all been bleached. Company policy. So, be my guest.
Look at this thing. It's like something from a horror movie.
What is a hook like this for?
Sometimes a catch puts up a fight.
How very humane. Mind?
Go ahead. 10-foot thresher's eye in my leg. Humane's the least of my concerns.
Dear girl, where have you been?
Bureaucratic hell.
Oh, I've been there. It usually involves taking a number and then waiting for a blue-haired lady to tell me to come back tomorrow.
You know, 11 different departments are looking for Sarah Corday's daughter. 11! I tell them that Stephen Rhodes might be involved, a man who by all accounts doesn't exist, according to state records, and they look at me like I have 3 heads.
Well, stop worrying, you pretty little 3 heads. Maybe this will help. Sarah's daughter's birth certificate just arrived. And Christine was born in a lovely hamlet on the Cape. I don't know about you, but when I'm in trouble, I want to run home where it's safe.
You think that's where Sarah brought her little girl?
I think it's worth a look. Cheers.
Mrs. Seaton, your DNA matches the eyelash we found. How do you think it got there?
I told you. I went in to say goodnight. He was tired. I kissed him, but I didn't touch anything.
If she's guilty, she's putting on a hell of a show.
Let's agree that this is circumstantial nonsense and move on.
Your client is forensically linked to a crime scene, Mrs. Hammond.
The Seatons were married. Of course, she was in the room with him when he died. Is it possible that her hair was on a pillow or the sheet he slept on? Absolutely. But you're reaching for answers, hun, because it's all that you've got.
What I've got, hun, is 4 million little green motives for murdering the doctor.
That life insurance policy has been in place for ages. It proves nothing.
Well, then maybe the affair he was having with one of his nurses is motive enough.
You're telling her this now? Show some decency, detective. She's been a widow for 24 hours. Come on, we're done.
When did we find out about the affair?
Berger gave it to us last night.
Lily, I was just thinking...
Oh, that can be dangerous.
Dad, hi. Is everything okay?
Fine. I just had a few things in my mind, so I went for a walk. How about letting your old man buy you a cup of coffee?
Yeah. I guess we're overdue to talk about a lot of stuff, huh?
Here's the understatement of the year.
Jordan, Hi, man. Sorry to interrupt. Jordan, you'd better take a look at this.
It's okay, Jordan. Duty calls. Sign these when you get a chance. We'll go over it later.
Sign what? Dad, what's going on?
Later, Jordan. We'll talk tonight.
State records just sent over a copy of Christine's birth certificate. She was born at a hospital just outside of Oak Island.
Oak Island? Wasn't that on that postcard that Sarah sent her parents 7 years ago?
It's a popular place. You ever been?
No, but I think I will check out this address.
You really think that she's guilty?
I was leaning toward Berger, but she had motive and opportunity, and the DNA match is irrefutable.
But what if it's not so cut and dried?
What do you mean?
Take a look at this. Note the subtle differences.
It was makeup on one, probably eyeliner, so.
That's a problem.
What?
Julie Seaton has eyeliner permanently tattooed to her lids.
Are you sure?
The woman notices these things.
It still doesn't explain the DNA match. Bug find Nigel. Plastic surgeons keep before and after photos of their patients and need them to hack into the Berger and Seaton medical files.
I don't follow.
There's one outside possibility.
Hey, the Berger and Seaton mainframe is now open for business.
Get the medical file for Julie Seaton.
According to this, she had 7 procedures over 6 years.
Nigel, one by one, take us back so we can see what she looked like, all right?
2001, rhinoplasty. 2000, dermabrasion. 1998, collagen and chin implants. Then cheek implants. Face and eye lift. Leading us to...
Whoa.
She's a different person.
She looks like her lawyer.
That's because they're twins.
Yo, Winslow, check it out.
Nice. What is shiny?
Found him in Richard Flynn's pocket when he died. 1 key, 1 door lock. Problem is, doesn't match his car. Matches a 1995 SUV. Want to know who drives a car like that? Sarah Meeks.
Wait a minute. It's her ring?
Got the prints off the brass.
Flynn must have taken it with the ID. What's the other key to?
Tracked the serial number on the stem to a locksmith who matched it to the Seabreeze Motor Lodge in Battery Wharf. Guess who the room is registered to? Stephen Rhodes.
Open up, please. All right. Stephen Rhodes!
is empty, but get this. Sarah and Rhodes were both here. I think they were living together.
Miss Hopper? Jordan Kavanaugh from the Boston Medical Examiner's Office. Could I have a moment?
I'm sorry. I'm very busy right now.
Ma'am, this is an emergency. We're trying to find a little girl who used to live here. Her mother, Sarah, recently passed away. Have you seen her? Can you tell me what happened?
7 years ago, I was working as a nurse. Sarah waited outside the hospital, stopped me at my car, said she was having a baby. She couldn't go home because her parents would be angry. I knew she was a runaway, so I brought her here.
How long did they stay here with you?
Off and on for a few years. We were good friends. Then Sarah got married.
How long ago did she bring Christine back?
She showed up one night terrified, crying. She said that she was going to go make enough money so that she could take her daughter somewhere safe, and she'd be back in 2 months. I never heard from her again.
Did she ever mention Stephen Rhodes?
No.
It's late, Detective. Is there any reason this couldn't wait until morning? Why didn't you tell us you were sisters? Is it relevant?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Mrs. Seaton is my client. Our personal relationship has no bearing on this case.
Well, since you and Julie are identical twins, you're remarkably dissimilar.
There was a time that wasn't true. Our mother used to dress us differently to tell us apart. It's amazing what surgery can do.
Must have been tough over the years watching Dr. Seaton turn your sister into someone different. All his operations.
And then to learn that he was seeing someone else.
Is there a point to all this?
Did you know that monozygotic twins have the same DNA?
No, Doctor. I'm afraid I didn't.
And Berger was the perfect scapegoat. You never meant for it to come back to your sister. You just wanted her husband to suffer for what he'd done. Isn't that right?
We always shared something special. You know?
Lois, what are you saying?
I think I've said enough.
Her name is Christine, and she's 7 years old.
Oh, Philip, she looks like Sarah, doesn't she?
You wanted to know why your daughter ran away. It was because she was pregnant.
You're in politics, Mr. Corday. Even at 15, she knew how that could affect you.
Sarah's friend took excellent care of Christine, but she just can't do it anymore.
The state won't grant custody to Sarah's husband. He isn't her father.
So we were wondering if maybe you would take care of her.
Of course, Doctor.
The barbed tip fits precisely into the puncture wound at the base of Sarah's skull.
There I was questioning the humanity of hooking a fish, and someone had this in mind.
Well, the hemotrace shows elements of human hemoglobin. We match it to Sarah's DNA. I think we got the murder weapon.
I thought you said he scrubbed everything down.
Good help is so hard to find these days.
All right, so put Sarah Meeks alive on the Blue Horizon.
Well, we know there are physical indicators that place Sarah in the motel room and on the fishing boat.
A lot of hearsay about Stephen Rhodes.
No driver's license, no social security number. But I went to that motel room, and there was men's and women's stuff all over the place. I'm positive they were there together.
You know, according to Jordan, Sarah was desperate to start her life over with her daughter, so she needed to make money fast.
Well, Lord knows, 8 weeks on a fishing boat would certainly do the trick.
Yeah, except there's no record of Sarah on that boat. No women allowed.
Rhodes signed for the motel room, and according to the clerk, Sarah paid in cash.
What was it about Rhodes that Sarah was trying to protect?
I think I know where I can find Stephen Rhodes.
Hi, Captain. Good evening.
What else do you people want? I've done nothing but cooperate.
And we appreciate that. We do, but...
What? I'm sorry the woman's dead, but I've told you everything I know. The man you're looking for is Stephen Rhodes, and he's...
And he's down at the police station.
Jacked him to a house in Winthrop.
Yeah, he put up a fight at first, but
After a few hours, he decided to make a deal.
Proof that you were involved in both murders.
It's impossible. You're lying.
No.
You're lying. Rhodes couldn't do that.
Why? Why couldn't Rhodes finger you or anyone else?
Because he can't.
Know that for a fact?
Damn right I do.
We found Sarah Meeks' blood on that fish hook. She was alive, wasn't she?
I never hired a woman to work my crew. I wouldn't let him on my boat.
We didn't say that you did, Captain. Tell us about Stephen Rhodes.
I needed a cook. He seemed decent enough, so I hired him. The crew seemed pleased, but I could tell right away that the kid was odd, coward, and stayed to himself.
What kind of a worker was he?
Weaker than the rest. He was useless. We had rough seas. We were all on deck trying to get through it. Not Rhodes. Rhodes was a coward. Hiding inside, riding it out. When a group of men depend on each other like this, you better give 150%.
That's when you figured it out. That's when you decided to confront Rhodes. You couldn't put up with it anymore. You were the boss, and Rhodes needed to understand that. That's when you realized that Stephen Rhodes was really Sarah Meeks, that she was posing as a man. But you were too far out at sea to turn back.
How'd she die?
I've said enough.
All right, then let me. You were embarrassed, and the crew was giving you a hard time, but you weren't going to let a woman get the best of you.
I was drunk. We all were.
It was a long night. You'd heard enough. You were going to teach her a lesson. You were going to show her who was boss. So you attacked her.
Back off, Flynn!
They all let it happen. But you weren't about to be embarrassed again, so you hit her into the wall. And you accidentally killed her. The whole crew saw it, including Flynn. They witnessed a homicide.
Put her on ice downstairs so you can figure out what to do, and then 20 miles out, you dumped her.
You didn't know that Flynn had her things, and when the others told you that he was about to go to the police, you did the only thing you could do. You killed him, too.
And I'll bet that that knife on your belt matches Flynn's wounds.
Woman's place isn't on a boat like this. Not a fishing boat. Not the Blue.
Hey, Dad.
I was beginning to think you weren't coming.
Late night.
Huh. Something to drink?
Yeah, I'll have one if you're having one. So, big question of the evening. Why are you giving me the deed to the bar?
Because I'm going away for a while.
How long?
I don't know. Now seems as good a time as any. But I need someone to keep an eye on this place till I get back.
What if I told you that I already have enough on my plate?
You can handle this. There are good people working here. Besides, you need to stay put for a while and stop running. You've got great friends. And the rest doesn't matter.
It matters to me. I deserve answers just as much as you do.
You're right. You also have a job. And responsibility. People counting on you, and I don't. And I can't find those answers behind this bar.
We spend our whole lives trying to fix what went wrong. Let's put it behind us, John. Look forward, not back.
Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when you said goodbye.